Welcome to another episode of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26. I am your host, Katie Stone. This guy, I know y'all know who this guy is. This is Chef Paul Friedman of the Chef's Table. We are up here in Vintage Park. And if you have not heard of the Chef's Table, let me just tell you that that's a mistake. You got to know about the Chef's Table. And it's a tasty mistake, though. It's not a big mistake. It's a tasty mistake, but one that I'm sure you guys are going to correct right away, because once you hear about the dishes here at the Chef's Table, some of the incredible cuisine that Chef Paul is cooking up and has been cooking for many years, we're going to talk to him about his history here in Houston, an extremely fun international trip that you organize every year, y'all. I had no idea things were going on like that.
Right.
Chef, tell everybody a little bit about the Chef's Table. What can they expect? What do you hope for them to expect once they come here?
Well, yeah, Katie, I think, it's important that if you eat out, you're going to eat something you've never had before. Mm-hmm. And so for me, not being schooled, I don't have any degrees. No one's taught me how to cook, and I don't look at recipes. So I have a taste.
Self-taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I like it, then it pretty much will go on the menu.
Yeah.
So people can experience flavor. Mm-hmm. I don't overpower my dishes, so you get to taste everything that's on the plate. Mm-hmm. And you can never come to my restaurant and say you've had this food somewhere else before.
That's true.
So that's exciting.
That's true. Well, because not everybody has ostrich on the menu. Let's be clear here, people, right?
Absolutely.
But you're just breaking the barriers here, and you had a lot to do with bringing South African cuisine to Houston, yes?
Very much so.
Yeah.
A long time ago when I had Pele Pele restaurant.
Yes. Y'all remember Pele Pele. I know you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm back here again in the Vintage Park.
Yeah. Same location, original Pele Pele.
The original one, yes.
Revamped into the Chef's Table, and that's important for y'all to know. In case y'all didn't know, this is the brains behind Pele. Let's go to the foodie cam and take a look at one of the dishes they are offering here up at the Chef's Table in Vintage Park. Y'all might know where these guys are. They're right next to Bricks Wine Cellars, another HRW participant that had an awesome month. We love giving out our shout outs. Chef, tell us what we're looking at here.
Okay, so this is a South African sole. It's one of the hardest fishes to actually clean. And what you're looking at is, you might be familiar with Dover sole, but this actually comes from South Africa. So once it's cleaned and all the bones are, cut off, then I'm left with what you see on the plate. And I'm going to show you how I actually present it.
Wow. Now you said one of the toughest fish to clean.
Yes.
And so why is that?
Well, it's a very thin fish and it's got skin on both sides. So you've got to pull the skin off. The problem is that it's so tight on the actual fish itself that when you pull, it's so hard to get off. It pulls the fish as well.
Pulls the meat away.
You've got to really, it's almost like a very, like when cars go from 0 to 60 and they have to do it really fast.
Yeah.
This has got to be pulled off really fast.
That's an expensive fish to mess up in the kitchen.
Absolutely, yes.
Is that, you don't let anybody else touch that except you?
Yeah. No, that's expensive, especially when it comes all the way from South Africa too.
Now, we've mentioned South Africa, and this is a fish from South Africa. Most of your dishes, are they proteins and meats coming from South Africa or kind of more inspired by South African cuisine?
Yes, I have a section on the menu called Out of Africa. So there's only 5 items on that section, but that is sourced through South Africa.
Okay.
So it's not locally sourced, and it only comes from South Africa. We're actually very privileged, Katie, in the fact that there are 7 airlines that fly into America every day from South Africa.
Oh, wow. So, and they're delivering food every day?
Some of them
people,
are, yes.
Maybe too.
Mostly people.
Your planes do not exist just to bring your food into the city, Katie. They actually fly people in.
They do.
Okay. We'll let the people on the plane.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. We'll decide. This is a massive piece of fish. I mean, this is like the whole thing right here.
It's a 1.5 pounds. And so it weighs a little bit more with all the skin on. But I'm going to show you how I do it.
Yes. So we love that. We love instructions.
Yes. So the way you do this is you take it right off the bone like this.
Okay.
And then on the side as well.
And there's the fish. Oh,
Look
and
at
you
that.
can
You
see
see,
all.
this has been a lot of work before I even got here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. So we'll do this how it comes off.
Ooh,
I'll show you just
that's part of the fish spine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
those.
I let my staff do this when they come to the table.
I
So
see.
then I take it like this, and then we get the bone completely off just like that.
Yeah.
And now we're going to allow you to get in there and eat.
And definitely something that you recommend allowing a seasoned individual in deboning fish. Yes, this is not something that we should try at the table or at home.
I do not want you doing this at the table, so all my staff know how to do this.
So your staff brings the fish to the table and they say, no, you cannot touch it.
That's right. We're going to do it for you. So there you are.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
So it's very flaky. It's
Yeah.
white. It's not fishy smelling, and it has a very nice texture to it.
Mhm.
And I put a little bit of Italian herbs and spices with lemon butter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's so light.
And the rice we make here, we put a little bit of yellow turmeric coloring in it.
Mhm.
And then we add peas and carrots and yes, pretty good stuff, eh?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, that's a few hours of preparing that. So we cook the rice separately.
Why does it take so long to prepare it?
Well, we have to get the rice ready first,
Mhm.
and then we let it cool down, and then in a separate sautéing pan, we sauté the carrots, the peas, the onions, and the peppers, then mix it all together, and then we let it.
So you're not just
sit.
throwing it in there
No.
into a big crock pot
No.
and saying, go cook yourself.
No, we put
Yeah.
them on sheet pans, we let them sit for a couple of hours,
Okay.
and then we will reheat them before serving.
That's an involved process.
It is.
Yeah, but it's not surprising because I know how creative you are and how brilliant you are, and I know that you know what you're doing. All right, let's go back to the foodie cam. We're going to take a look at another one of the dishes that are popular here at the chef's table in Vintage Park with Chef Paul Friedman. What are we looking at here?
All right. Well, I'm sure you've heard of like U10 prawn, shrimp actually. So these are large shrimp. We call them prawns. The next ones up from this would be langoustines. And so what we do is we prepare them here, and I take the shell off so it's easy to eat. This is not an easy thing to once again use your hands. I mean, you come to a nice fine dining restaurant, you don't want to use your hands, but I encourage people to.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
So
messy.
yeah, so we're gonna try some right now.
I think we should
And,
try some. And you've got a really pretty drink there too.
Yeah,
That we can talk about, because y'all have a lot of incredible, not just South African wines, but you have wines from all over, and you have some unique drinks as well. I think maybe there's a drink that involved a blowtorch or smoke or something.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna have Chelsea come because she's the creator of a lot of my drinks.
Take a look at that a little bit
And
later. Oh
yes,
my goodness.
Yes.
Chef.
Nice. Isn't it?
What are these though?
So
These
those
the
are prawns. Those are prawns. Yeah. And you
So,
see, I've removed the shell altogether, so that's easier to eat.
so we don't usually see the prawns in this form. We usually just see the meat.
Yeah, but this is how I serve it.
Are they usually this big?
Yes.
This is how big the shell.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I don't think I've ever seen a prawn
Big.
shell before.
Yeah.
Now, where are these from?
These also from the southern point of Africa.
South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the reason why the fish are so big and different is you've got the Atlantic Ocean and Indian Ocean coming together at the point. So you've got warm and cold currents, and it spawns a whole lot of different kinds of fish. And it creates growth as well. So you're going to see the shrimp are, as you see them, they're prawns there.
I wonder, is it extraordinarily deep there as well? And so it gives the fish more time to grow and be safe from getting caught.
Look at this, you know.
Well, you know, I might have lived on the Baja coast, one of the deepest points in the world. Yes, very unique in Baja California, Rosarito, Mexico, and the whales, the gray whales, they would come up and back having their babies every season. But because of how deep it was interesting. All right, so I have to dip this in here, and then tell me what kind of sauce this is.
So it's kind of like a spicy scampi sauce that I'm
spicy scampi. Ooh.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a lot of flavors to to touch your palate, but nothing is overpowering. So it might be a little spicy, but then it fades away.
Oh, it's perfect.
Nice.
It really is perfect. And You know, I love how you say you don't want the sauce to overpower because you also want to respect the fish
Absolutely.
and the taste of the fish. And I know that's really important for you.
You have to. Yeah. The flavor of the fish is the most important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Learning something new every day. All right, back to the foodie cam we go. We are here with Executive Chef Paul Friedman at the chef's table. This is his restaurant. He is the man in the kitchen. He is the brains, the brilliant mind that you all, yes, of course, know and remember from Pele Pele. And this is another incredible dish. What are we looking at?
Okay, so this is probably the most ugliest fish you'll ever see.
It doesn't look very ugly right now.
No,
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks,
But yeah, it's part of the eel family.
Okay.
So when you're looking at this, you think, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes.
Eel aren't the most pleasant to look at. Ooh.
Yeah. So it reminds me very much of sea bass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very rich. It's flaky. It's actually sweeter than sea bass.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, it's white and it's flaky. And I put it on a bed of spinach. Now, the way I cook this is I spoon cook it. So once we put it in the pan, we don't turn it over. We just spoon cook it with the lemon and the butter and the herbs and the spices and the cream. And yes, and then
I'm having some difficulties here.
Right.
They're not technical difficulties.
Yes,
They're taste bud difficulties. It happens, y'all. I'm a little speechless right now. Continue, Chef.
Yes, sure. And so once it's prepared and it's ready, we'll put it on a bed of spinach, and then we'll add crab and lobster to all the juices that are in the pan.
Oh my
Mix the crab and lobster together and pour it over the top of the king clip. Yeah.
My.
So that's what you're tasting.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Pretty good, huh? And nothing is overpowering. We've got a nice little lemon beurre blanc sauce that I put on there. And you get to taste everything: the crab, the lobster, the king clip, the butter, the cream, and so on.
I need to stop eating. My producers are telling me that we're running out of time because I'm eating too much. I'm spending too much time eating.
Right. Well, I don't blame you.
This dish is truly like a signature dish for this restaurant. I would think. And this is, if you come here to the chef's table, I would highly recommend trying this dish because I think you will be blown away.
I think it was the most popular dish on the HRW menu.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, is it on your menu year round?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Quickly tell us what this is.
I will have Chelsea come and explain to us.
Chelsea, you want to come and sneak in and just kind of stay right behind us?
She created this.
Hello.
Shelly, she's the sommelier here.
Yes, so this is actually our Empress Fields Martini, which is a fantastic martini. We use Empress Gin, which is infused with a butterfly pea extract, which makes it purple. Mm-hmm. We pair it with our house-made lavender syrup, some Saint Germain. It's extremely refreshing.
Really refreshing. Yes, very floral.
Pairs great with everything.
Yes. Excellent. I love the color. And there's a little flower in here too. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it is very, very tasteful. Thank you, Chelsea. We'll come back and talk to you here in a little bit. All right, let's go back to the foodie cam. Yep, there's the flower. Edible flower.
Yes.
Yes, very edible.
Mm-hmm.
I love eating flowers, actually, y'all.
Yes.
I hope you like eating flowers too. We should have a show just about eating flowers. I'm going to bring you with me.
All right.
All right, let's go back to the foodie cam here. We're up at the chef's table. Executive Chef Paul Friedman. Oh my gosh, what are we looking at?
This is one of my favorite steaks, and you're not going to believe this. It isn't beef. It is pork. And I discovered this when I was in Spain, and they raise the hogs with acorns. So they're vegetarian pigs.
They're nutty pigs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's better.
Nutty pig.
That's a good one. I'm going to use that if I can.
You could, you could just put on the menu. You could ask people like, I have meat from a nutty pig. Yeah. Would you like to try the meat from the nutty pig? Right. I don't know. It's just marketing, y'all. You know, we got to make ourselves memorable here. Ooh.
So I actually import this from Spain.
You import the nutty pigs.
The nutty pigs come all the way from Spain.
That's amazing. I love that.
But it's a ribeye. It's a ribeye, and it's fatty. But oh my God, the flavor. And also I use my own creative seasoning that I put on it. So we're going to try that right now. I can't wait for you to taste it. Yeah. You're not going to believe
this. I'm looking in his eyes. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but y'all, when this guy gets excited about food or dishes, it's time to pay attention because I have, one of the things too, I want to mention, we're going to go to the foodie cam, but I really love how you are in the restaurant, just your overall personality. You're always in the restaurant. Every single time I see you, you're in the kitchen, but you're always out here talking to guests. You're always making sure that their dishes are exactly as they like. And you're always telling them stories about the dishes.
Yes.
And I think that's
Yeah.
so special. And it's not something that we see that often these days.
Right.
Okay, what are we looking at here, Chef?
All right. So this is actually ostrich. And I will, now I'm going to say that South Africa is the largest exporter, of ostrich in the world.
Ostrich meat.
Yes, ostrich meat. And,
Yep.
people don't actually understand that this is so much healthier for you than eating red meat.
Mhm.
Because most people say, well, isn't it white? Isn't it like chicken? No, it's not. The ostrich only comes from the lower part of their body, which is their leg.
The meat.
So, the meat.
Right.
Right. Because, they're the fastest running birds in the world. So they have to have a lot of strength in their.
So the muscle is
muscle-
in their leg. Well, what happens to the body? What do they use? They don't eat that at all. They don't use any of that.
No, it's mostly used for feathers and ostrich feathers and so on. But,
So there's rib meat on
There
them,
is,
right?
yes,
but
yes.
it's not.
no. It's,
Why?
it's not
Oh my gosh, I'm fascinated.
It's not edible. It's just like like a skin, really. What it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Most of it comes from
the
waist
muscle
down.
in
Yeah.
the leg,
Yes.
which is because I have heard that they're very fast.
Right.
Now you mentioned. First of all, is this a new item on your menu? Have you
Yes.
always had ostrich or no? I didn't
No.
think so.
No,
Yeah.
I came back from the trip, my last trip to South Africa,
Yes.
and we had ostrich there. And I thought, well, you know what? I know this is a difficult product to get in the U.S.
Mhm.
and I can only put it on my menu if I have a source.
Mhm.
And so I was able to source this while I was in South Africa,
Mhm. Mhm.
and now I have a regular supply.
First time eating ostrich.
Really,
Ooh.
yeah. So it tastes like steak.
It does taste like steak,
but you
but it
can-
tastes like really good steak.
Yes, it's
Really
very lean,
good,
Very lean. There's
very
no
lean.
fat at all, right? And then the sauce I've made with this
Mhm.
is it's called the monkey gland
Mhm.
sauce.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with monkeys or
Mhm.
glands. But if you go to South Africa, you'll go to any steakhouse, they will serve a monkey gland steak,
Chef.
and that is the sauce that I make.
Chef.
Yes, isn't that something?
Chef.
Yes.
You did not tell me about this sauce. This sauce is a dangerous.
Mhm.
This is a dangerous. This will keep you inside these walls.
Yes, it's good.
I'm not leaving until I finish all of that.
Come on.
Just to let you know,
All right.
this is an insane taste, and it's perfect with the ostrich. I mean, I would eat this on a lot of different things
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is, this is my first time having ostrich. Oh,
Fabulous.
speaking of drinks,
Yes.
yes, what would you like to show us?
So one of my favorite drinks is doing a cinnamon old fashioned.
Mhm.
We have a lot of different kinds of bourbon that we use, but also what we do here is we actually infuse the bourbon with our own orange sugar blends.
Of course
That-
you
yes,
do.
so,
Look at the water, you
yeah,
guys.
yes,
It's
yeah.
not water.
We use a little, we call that protea water, named after the South African flower.
Yes.
Protea. It has nothing to do with the flower, but it has a little bit of watermelon, a little bit of strawberry, lime, and lemon. And it's something else other than just having bread and butter or crackers before you start eating. I want
Yeah.
people to cleanse themselves first
Yeah.
before they start eating and not fill themselves up. Because as you can tell, the food, it's worth.
It's a lot,
Saving for.
and you want to be able
Yes.
to eat it. Yes.
So we put a little bit of cinnamon in there,
Okay.
little chips, and then we fire it up. We get a nice little bit of smoke in here.
Ooh.
And there you'll see the smoke is going to start going.
And
into
you do this at the
glass.
table?
We do this at the table.
Mm.
yes,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
And then we're going to put the cube in there
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we get a nice.
Oh, it smells so
blend.
good.
good?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is perfect because now we're finally, well, we think, I say that, and then next week it's going to be 125 degrees out. But
Oh,
we're
yes,
finally
yes.
getting a little bit of, rest from the heat. So
All
this is an excellent time.
So there we go.
Oh, I love it. And it's Astros colored themed.
Oh, look
go
at that.
Astros.
Yeah.
Let's go,
They're
baby.
coming back. You have to try that.
They are, yes. This you should put this on a special for
Yeah,
your
Astros
Astros,
special.
and then they'll win. That's how it goes. All right.
We'll give
I'm
all
gonna
of
take
them
a little.
a shot before they
Ooh,
start playing.
Oh, it's so cinnamony.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
The
yes,
orange as well.
yes.
So yeah,
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
great. You know, you only have to do
Excellent.
that at one table and everybody wants one.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then it's just a whole line through the dining room.
That's right.
Yes, you know what you're doing. All right, back to the foodie cam we go here at the chef's table. This is Chef Paul, and I highly encourage y'all to come out here and meet Chef Paul because he is a chef who is in the dining room, y'all, and that is so fun and not something you see all the time these days. But it's very appreciated because we get to talk to you, and you're so fun to talk to, and you're so smart and knowledgeable, and so tell us how to eat the dishes. That's always a good thing too.
Right.
Yep.
That's important.
All right. What are we looking at here, Chef?
Okay. And here's another dish that I have to tell people how to eat. This is actually Karoo lamb. It comes all the way from South Africa. And if you've ever had a T-bone, they come in the shape of a T-bone. So you have a little bit of the fillet on the one side and the sirloin on the other. So the way that we're going to present it is the way that we're going to cut it and eat it. So if you can get that plate here.
Now I wanted to also, are you going to cut this and show us?
Yes, I'm going to show you.
Okay, so we've got a couple minutes left to go. And I want to shout out too, because in case you've ever thought about traveling to South Africa, you can do it with Chef Paul because he takes a group of people every February, March over to South Africa. Tell everybody a little bit about the excursion.
Yes, I actually have with me a complete package. Yeah, this is what I do every year now. And I take people with me. It's called the Cape Peninsula Tour. It also is a tour into the bush as well. But the main reason why we go there is for this winery. It started out where I was just visiting the winery and bringing in the wines because I now have an import license as well. And so I thought, well, why don't I take people with me? And so now every year I go and we take people with us. And it's a great tour. We actually whale watch. We shark dive.
Whale watching.
Yes. We walk with the penguins. We go up the mountains. We see the 2 points, the Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean coming together.
Beautiful.
Just a fabulous trip.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much have the itinerary.
It's like a whole menu.
Yes,
oh my gosh. You are so brilliant. If you've ever thought about going overseas, going on a culinary trip, because I know those are very popular these days, it can be a little bit confusing where to start. It's so cool that you've got the answer, Chef.
Yeah. Well, you know, mostly it's to promote the wine that I represent. And this is the lamb.
Yes. Ooh.
And it's another, dish that you're eating it, but it doesn't taste like lamb. Isn't that good?
Chef.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is legitimately the best bite of lamb I've ever had in my life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and I sprinkled it with a little balsamic vanilla. And it's served on a bed of 4 cheese mashed potatoes. 4 cheese mashed potatoes. So how are we doing on time? And then one last thing, I want to just dip it in this sauce for you. To try it now. Okay. And tell me about the sauce a little bit. So that is mint sauce. And whenever I go and I eat lamb and they bring me jelly, I just want to scream. Why? Because they're not fresh. Okay. The whole idea of having mint with lamb is that it must be fresh. Interesting. And it's so easy to make fresh mint. You take mint, add sugar and vinegar. That's it. Yep. Well, for you, it's easy, but for not everybody understands the importance of going through those steps. And I think that that's really clear, especially when you come here. Nothing is pre-made. Nothing is coming out of a jar. No. Likely these items have their own passport that they have traveled on their own airplane to get here. Well, the thing is, I think most of the reasons why we have all these diseases in America is because of the preservatives that's in the food. Absolutely. And so I stay away from that, and I want to have everything done fresh from scratch. Yep, so, no dyes or anything like that, for sure. All right, you guys, that does it for us. I can't believe that went by like 2 minutes. It did, didn't it? 2 minutes. It's always fun with you, though. You're incredible, and thank you once again so much for your support during Houston Restaurant Weeks, which supports the Houston Food Bank. All right, you guys. That does it for us here up in Vintage Park with Chef Paul. I know y'all think that we're going home, but we're not. No. We're going to eat some lamb. We're going to drink some food. We're going to have some dessert. And make sure you guys stay tuned to Fox 26 for all of our episodes of Foodies and Friends. We will be right back here with you next week for another episode. See you soon. Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you, Chef. High five. Excellent. Appreciate it.